What's up with the sickness.net? It's your boy Coop, and you know what time it is. We back at it. Another one of these interviews. This time, I got a well-known artist, man, from the City Angels. Down in that division. Want to introduce everybody to Shade Shiest. What's up with you, G?
What up? What up?
Oh man, I'm glad you was able to hit us up, man. You always sending me music and stuff to post on the site. I was like, man, I might as well get an interview with this guy. He got a story to tell, So, let's get into it, man. Why don't you let everybody know where you from, man, and how you got your start in this rap game?
Well, for those who don't know who I am, Shade Shiest, Inglewood, California representative, Centinela. I've been around for a long time, you know what I'm saying, since the golden era of this hip-hop shit. And I'm still here, still mashing, still making hits, you know what I'm saying, still keeping the G-Funk is forever like I preach. And most people will know me for my #1 single back in 2000 with Dogg and Corrupt, Who I Want to Be. Pretty much took over the world back then. And followed that up with a couple of other hits with Dogg, Wake Up, What Would You Do, with Mariah Carey, Cali Disease on the Fast and Furious, list goes on. I done recorded with so many legends that, the list is just, it reads like a grocery receipt. Everybody from DJ Quik to Dr. Dre to Bone Thugs and Harmony and everybody in between, Teddy Riley. If they're legendary or they've done something monumental with music, you best believe I made a hit with them. I wrote a song with or for them, or just learn something off of them. I got so many mentors, so many. I don't even know what word you would use to consider what kind of artist I am or whatever, but like most people go into the studio, just do songs, hey, let's collab, let's network and all of this or whatever. Like everybody that I ever worked with has been a teacher to me, like real talk. They've all taught me something, everybody from Dogg to DJ Quik, Dre, everybody. So it wasn't just that I was up in these studios making, with a lucky streak or got connections and, just doing whatever. Like, I really learned a lot of shit. Dr. Dre taught me a lot of shit when I was working on my first album. Dude taught me a lot of shit. That's why I produced the way that I produce to this day. DJ Quik taught me a lot of shit. Like, I don't talk about this G-Funk and try to keep it alive just because it just sounds good to me. Like, I was brought up on this. I came up off of this. I was instilled this. You know what I'm saying? I did shows with DJ Quik where he literally in front of everybody passed me torches. You know what I'm saying? So this shit is in me. This West Coast shit, this is what I do. And it's forever, as long as I'm alive.
So pretty much anybody that's ever influenced you in this rap game, you pretty much worked with already.
I can't name, like literally I'll be sitting back trying to think of who haven't I messed with yet in this music shit. And the only person I can come up with that I haven't worked with, and the only reason why I haven't worked with him is because he's deceased, and that's Tupac. But even then, my mentor was Johnny J. So, I mean, if you want to talk about somebody being close to Tupac, I was as close to Tupac without knowing him as you can get, working with Johnny J and letting him mentor me all the way up. I used to rap on All Eyes on Me instrumentals before Tupac even touched them. You know what I'm saying? Like certain ones, How Do You Want It, Picture Me Rolling. It's certain beats that I had those beats before Pac even heard those, and I had demos on them and just, was messing around at Johnny J's old place just trying to come up with songs to, get my shit up off the ground. And then when Pac got out of jail, he just took over everything. And, I wasn't even known yet. I was still on my way up, so what could I do? But I got a lot of history. I got a lot of, I'm really close to all of these guys. Dogg, I had a wonderful relationship with Dogg. There's a reason I got so many songs with Nate. Beyond just the hits that I got like at least an album worth of shit with Dogg that I recorded just off GP because he loved doing music with me. Because I made the type of music he liked to make. And why? Because when I was a youngster growing up, coming up, I used to listen to him and the rest of the Dogg Pound, the rest of Death Row. And I used to mimic that shit and just like, damn, when I get my turn or whatever, I'm going to do this shit like this. It's going to sound like this, and I'm going to keep it like this, and that's what it's going to be. And I ain't never switched up. You can check my pedigree. You can check my history, everything from the time that I came out, all magazine publications that I've ever been in, anytime you ever seen me on TV. Go and try to find somewhere where I was being hypocritical or I said some shit that wasn't true. I can show you a lot of my peers, you know what I'm saying, that have said some shit when they first came out, and then we could fast forward to now, and, you know, it's a total contradiction to what they were talking about or whatever, but I welcome anybody to try to do that for me. In fact, I put money on the table as a bet to try to find me being hypocritical about something that I pretty much put out there that when I was first coming up that has changed or anything in me that has changed, because I got the same sound. I don't know about these other cats that's trying to, you know, follow suit and go with what's in right now to try to maintain their relevancy, but I've been able to do it by maintaining the sound that I started with, and I ain't never switched up, and I don't ever plan to. It's a disrespect to the golden era to do that shit, personally.
You know what? I could respect that because you've been down for a while. Like you said, you mentioned earlier, you know, what happened for you ain't been no luck. Because, you know, I didn't did my research. I didn't grew up on your music and all the shit. But, you know, I'm looking at some of these accolades you got, and hell no, none of this shit was luck. This was hard work. And, I mean, you on several, like, the start of your career pretty much to me from what I'm gathering is like soundtracks and stuff like that. Like, that was you approached that way. You was on several soundtracks before you ever even dropped the album. You know what I mean? I'm talking about big soundtracks. Not no bullshit. This is back when soundtracks was a thing. You know?
Exactly.
But, I'm a little interested in knowing, you know, I want to talk about some of this old stuff that you got because it is history and they can't take it from you. But, you know, during the time, you know, like I said, the golden age, man, West Coast was on top, and you had Ja Rule and Irv Gotti and them coming up with Murder Inc., and you was working with them as well.
Yeah. Most people don't even know that, ironically, my come up, like the one person who I could say actually put me into the game as far as the commercial game, mainstream retail, put me in the stores. The first commercial release I was ever on was a Murder Inc. release with the Murderers. Irv Gotti used to mess with my old producer, the Mizza, and they was real close because Mizza used to work over at the station, Power 106 out in L.A. or whatever, and at the time they was the #1 top dogs or whatever. So Mizza had a lot of clout, and he was running shit over there. So that was my partner in music. He was doing his radio shit, but that was my partner as far as in music, the production. He was teaching me how to produce. I was showing him rhyming. Like we was coming up together. I met him when he first went over there, and I got to meet everybody that he met while he was over there, basically. So he met Irv Gotti. Irv Gotti and him, you know, developed a cool little relationship, and they started working on a whole lot of music together. And naturally, I came into the picture because I was the Mrs. right-hand man. So I had a lot of ideas, especially back then. I was just an overabundance of ideas and creative energy flowing. So I was just on my shit trying to get everybody to hear everything that I ever made and just whatever. So anytime I was ever in the room around Irv Gotti and Ja and the rest of them or whatever, of course I was playing my shit and, you know, just trying to show off some of the shit that I was doing. And every time I would play them something, they would always fall in love with something that I made and then want it. Like literally. I play them like 2 songs or whatever, and then they'll want to take one of them. And then I'll play them another 2 songs, and they'll want both of them or whatever. So it came to a point where one day I played them a record, and it was just a joke. Like, it was just an interlude. It wasn't even no real record. This was not nothing I planned on releasing as a single. It was meant for you to be listening to the album, and then this song comes on, and you be like, what the fuck? This nigga over here singing? What the hell's going on? That's all it was meant to be, just a joke. I was on my Nate Dogg shit, just fucking around, playing around, like, literally. And these niggas heard this song and flipped out, like, literally flipped out, like I was doing this shit for real, and I was being serious with it. And the whole time I'm like, I hope they understand that this is a joke. Like, this is just, this not no real record or whatever. But they loved it, and the song was called If You Was My Bitch, and that song ended up actually becoming a real record. Ja Rule hopped on it, Cadillac Ty, the whole Murderer Squad, Black Child, everybody hopped on that shit, and the shit went gold. And I'm like, okay, so I can make a joke and the shit go gold. And I said that out loud one day or whatever, and then it's kind of like that day everybody just realized, like, I'm over here, you know, as the youngsters, the new West Coast niggas coming up or whatever, I'm that nigga right now. Like, creatively, I can't be fucked with. And from that point, it was on. I was rolling with Murder Inc. hardcore. I was writing songs with Ja, writing songs with Cadillac Ty, I was writing songs with Vita. It was on. They put me on Fast and Furious. That's how I got on the Fast and Furious soundtrack. I did a whole lot of shit, man. Even a lot of shit that didn't even come out. I had a song called Gangsta Shit that got Irv Gotti on it. I went ahead and linked it on a tape that I dropped, some few years ago or whatever, but that was meant to be a real song and shit. Like, I got records with all of these cats, and the shit that I did with Ja Rule, that shit went triple platinum. It's like, Murder Inc. pretty much put me on. You would think that it was the Dog Pound connection and all of that, but that actually didn't even come until after my little, Murder Inc. run. So that's a little bit of history for those that don't know. So much love and respect to Irv Gotti, Ja Rule, Cadillac, Vita, Black, A1, everybody over there that I came up with, because if it wasn't for y'all, most definitely motherfuckers wouldn't know who I am.
Indeed. Big shit, man. Mariah Carey, Nate Dogg, rest in peace. Oh, man, I'm Mariah Carey, man. How did that come about?
Same shit. Like all of this shit pretty much came from me rolling with MZA. MZA was pretty much my connect man. You could look at it like, if you need both of us to be together in order for us to be successful, then he was the connect man, and I was the nigga with all the ideas. So you take all of my great ideas, turn them into a bomb-ass product, and then you circulate them to all these great legendary people that you know, right? And let's see what we can get. And that's what we did right out the gate. Before I was even Shade Shiest, before I went to Atlanta in 99 with Jermaine Dupri and changed my name to Shade Shiest, I was Shady Montage. When I was Shady Montage, I made a whole bunch of demos. The MZA played some shit for Mariah Carey, just so that she could hear his beats or whatever, because I was rapping on top of his beats. So he played some of my songs so that she could hear his beats, but she was loving my songs. And she was like, oh, who is this kid? He's so dope and this, that, whatever. Wow, she was like literally blown away. And so she walked my shit into Hollywood Records, which is Disney, and got me a record deal, and I was signed to them at like 13, 14. I don't even remember. I was so young, I don't even remember how old I was. I just know that my parents had to co-sign my contract. And
wow.
I was on with Disney. Yeah, it was that deep. It was that deep. I was on with Disney. I was there. Like, when I say the golden era, I came up during the golden era. I wasn't a part of it initially. I came at the very tail end of it. But while I was sitting there growing up, like, listening to all these cats, I had a deal myself. Like, I was doing my own little thing. I wasn't known, like I am now with the Shade Shiest shit. But, low key, I had some little national hits buzzing when I was Shady Montage. I had a song called Shake You Down, and it was doing big things on radio. Even Power 106 added it to rotation. The beat was playing it. Like, I was getting national love. And I had a song with Jason Thomas, this old singer. I don't know if many people remember him, but he was the Usher before Usher, and the Chris Brown and all of that. I had a song with him called Merry Go Round. That one did national. I used to do soundtrack theme songs for like all the little Disney shows when Eddie Murphy did that PJ's little claymation show or whatever. I did some theme music for that. Like, Disney hooked me up. Disney paid me a whole lot of money when I was a kid, you know what I'm saying? So when I was in high school, they had me looking right. And everybody that sat there and didn't believe me from 8th and 9th grade, by the time I got to 10th grade, everything that I said was starting to come to fruition. And it was like, okay, this nigga mean business. I used to go to school with Bad Luck. So Bad Luck was like one of the only niggas who actually believed me and believed what I said, because he was doing this thing too, trying to, come up like the rest of us. But he always was the one nigga that was like, I believe you, Trey. You know what I'm saying? My name is Trey. And it's like, I believe you, Trey. I know what you're saying is real. And these cats over here laughing and this and that or whatever, but they don't understand this shit is for real. And then when I got played on the radio and I came to school the next day with my tape, you know what I'm saying, because I had my tape all manufactured and shrink wrapped up and professional, and my life just changed after that, man. I've been doing this shit forever. I'm not like the rest of these niggas. This ain't something that I just do just to do it. It started off as a hobby, but like, this is a real career for me. This is what I really, really do. That's why I take disrespect to people that play around with this shit and do whack ass shit or whatever, because I'm not about that life. I don't know what that's about.
Indeed. Can we talk about this LA Times thing? You know, this conflict of interest that they brought up on you, man. That I would it be safe to say that kind of ended your radio run?
Nah, not at all. It actually extended it and helped me because it made me look like I was some kind of Suge Knight of the radio world. What happened was, when I linked up with Mizza, you know, like I told you, was the #1 guy at Power 106, which at the time was the #1 station in the country. So right off top, you should have suspected that at some point we was going to run into some kind of wall just because of that kind of connection. Somebody was going to be like, well, hey, you can't be linked up with somebody that works in radio, but why not? Like, look at radio today and look at how every single radio DJ think they a producer now and got an artist now and playing their own music and this and that or whatever. Well, guess who made that shit possible? Yours truly, me. That article right there, that opened up the gate for disclaimers and opened up the gate for being able to play your own shit long as you tell the audience that's listening that this is your shit. That's it. Nothing changed. They didn't stop playing my music. It's just that they had to run an announcement all of a sudden that basically said Shade Shiest is affiliated with blah, 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 which is affiliated with MS Broadcasting, which is affiliated with Power 106. They had to run disclaimers to basically say, we're not cheating you guys. We're not just playing this cat because, you know what I'm saying, he works with us or whatever. We're playing it because y'all keep requesting it and it's the #1 song in the country. You know, they tried to get me, but let's get down to the real about what that article was really about for those that don't know. But I'm gonna put it on blast right now so we can get down to the end of it, because that was a nice attempt at them trying to kill my career and make me seem like all my shit was fake and like I didn't really you know, pull all of that radio play or whatever. But you can try again, because there's a thing called BDS, you know what I'm saying? And that shit don't lie. You know what I'm saying? It's a very technical, coded type shit or whatever that any record, any mainstream record label, major record label can go check it if they want to at any time. So anybody talking about, oh, this is not, oh, he's not getting this, all you got to do is go check the BDS to see if it's real or not. So unless I'm putting a gun to all these DJs' heads and saying, oh, you going to play this fucking record. I mean, it's a lot of ground to cover to have to do that, to put all these guns to all these DJs' heads to get them to play. So I don't think that's going on. So this is what really happened. This is bitch-ass nigga that used to work for LA Times called Chuck Phillps. He's the same bitch nigga that wrote that stupid-ass article talking about Biggie Smalls was behind Tupac's killing, and Biggie sat in some room in Las Vegas and talked to some dudes and gave them the gun that did this and that. Utter bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that knows the story knows that Biggie ain't had shit to do with that. So this nigga, Chuck Phillps, wanted the Mizza, my partner at the time, to do a quote for that article, which was coming out. And it was supposed to be a big spectacle. Oh, we about to, you know, it's going to be a big deal, front page, this and that. And it was. It went down that day. But Mizza didn't want no parts of that because he knew that the article was bogus. Everybody knew that shit. Like, that shit didn't happen that way. It was just an unfortunate circumstance that took Tupac away from us. And to put that on somebody else that don't have anything to do with that, that's just immoral, and that's not even, you know, that's not even cool. So Mizza didn't want no parts of that, and he told Chuck Phillps to go fuck himself. Chuck Phillps responded with that article that you are referring to, which is, how can somebody that's so unknown get this much airplay? Oh, it's got to be rigged. Oh, he this, that, or whatever. Oh, he didn't even sell no records when the album came out or whatever. Just all bullshit. Like, you can go check all of that shit. You're going to say I didn't sell nothing when you can go check SoundScan to see that I did. I sold more than these whack-ass fools that come out today and still trying to sell to this day. You know what I mean? Back when the West Coast was, when people really used to fuck with that music. So that was a Chuck Phillps attempt to sabotage me and Mizza's run because Mizza didn't want to give him a quote for his stupid-ass Biggie killed Tupac article. And that's it. That's all there is to it. Got nothing to do with me being some kind of Bossellini fucking Gambino, even though, you know, they are in my family. But that has nothing to do, you know what I'm saying, with any of that radio shit or whatever. That was actual organic people loving my shit, liking it, requesting it, playing it, spinning it, you know, doing everything that you need to do to make a record #1. That Billboard shit was real. All that running and shit, that was real. it's not my fault that, you know, dude didn't get the quote that he wanted, and then he tried to do what he did, because he tried it twice. That wasn't the first article he did. He did another one like a couple of weeks later because the first one didn't get the effect that he wanted. So as you can see, I'm still here, and no, they didn't stop playing my records or nothing like that. I did get some kind of hesitation from certain people, you know, when I started doing my little radio runs after that, and I did pick up certain vibes from certain people who used to look at me certain ways, like, oh, this is that one dude that used to strong arm this. I ain't strong arm nobody. Like, don't put me out there like that, like I'm some kind of, you know what I'm saying, gangster, mobster, the way that I do my music. I don't attach none of that shit with that. I do my shit the real way. If people don't fuck with my shit, then they just don't fuck with it. I don't kiss ass. You know what I'm saying? You can ask about me. I don't kiss ass. I'll kick some ass before I kiss some ass, because I don't do that. You're not going to get no stories on me, you know, talking about I bow down to somebody to try to get this and that. You can keep that shit. I don't need it. I'm already somebody and shit. So, you know what I mean? I don't play that shit. I fuck with legends, and that's all I know. So all of these, anybody that you ain't legendary or whatever, and you think that I'm going to like bow down to you or whatever because you got a little bit of a buzz going on right now, you better know the difference between popularity and fame. I got fame. I don't fuck with that popularity shit. You hot right now. I've been hot since forever. When it's all said and done, and you open up the books of hip hop or whatever, I'm already in there. These niggas are still trying to get in there, but I'm already in there. Like literally, you go buy the book of hip hop. They keep updating it every however many years. I'm already in it. When you go to the S's, you find Snoop Dogg, you gonna find my name too. Already. I'm a young ass nigga, so you know. I don't want to hear nothing from none of these people. Like Kanye say, you can't tell me nothing. It's not about the money, though. It's about what I've done for the West Coast is why you can't tell me nothing.
Indeed. Indeed, man. You definitely set your mark in the game. That's for damn sure. They can't take that from you.
Nah, never.
I got to ask you, man, you know, because you didn't, you know, you can, it's a long conversation of what you done, but what is one of the most memorable things you've done or maybe accomplished in this rap game?
Just getting to work with the guys that I grew up looking up to. Working with DJ Quik was like a dream come true, because DJ Quik was the first gangster rap I ever heard in my life. So to actually be in a studio with him and working on something from scratch, and getting with Devontae Swing from Jodeci to help on that record, and then he called High C and AMG and all the OGs to come in just to do this record for me. And I'm like, damn, I grew up on this nigga. Like, I wouldn't even know about gangster rap if it wasn't for him, because I didn't hear NWA and Easy and all of them first. I actually heard DJ Quik first for whatever odd reason, and then I got on NWA and all of that shit. So that was an honor for me. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget working with Dr. Dre right next door to me when I was working on my first album, and he was working on The Wash and working on Chronic 2001. I'll never forget that shit right there. Like, all the consultation that he gave me every time he'd come to my session every single day and poke his head in and like kind of just listen to what we playing at the time, and then he'll just give a little nod if he liked it, or he'll just like dip out if it was whatever. And that's kind of how certain songs ended up on the album and certain ones I pulled, because I figured if he dipped out and didn't nod, then it must be something wrong with it, so I ain't fucking with this one. So he got a lot to do with like a lot of shit, and actually telling me shit specifically. And I got to roll with him. I was with him in Vegas when he got that Lifetime Achievement Award at the Radio Music Awards. I won my first award ever for where I want to be, like breaking like all types of history, and he won a Lifetime Achievement Award, and I literally rolled with him on this night, like by his request. So it's a lot of things like that. I remember when Jay-Z told Mizza to come get me out of my dressing room, to come holler at me right before I went on stage at Powerhouse for my first time ever, and he just wanted to tell me that he was digging my record, and that him and Dame Dash, that was like all they was listening to while they was out there in LA at the time and shit. So I'll never forget that. I'll never forget meeting Michael Jackson. When I first was coming up, like at 13 years old, Battle Cat was one of the first producers ever to show me anything about anything. He was the first one to show me Talkbox, how that shit go. He was the first one to show me like true to life West Coast production. Then, you know, the shit I did with Johnny J. Man, it just go on forever. Hooking up with Teddy Riley, Bone Thugs and Harmony, which is like my favorite group of all time. I was in junior high school, like growing up, listening to them, studying their music, trying to rap like them because nobody else could. And so when I finally got to meet them, I laid it on them. I was like, hey, I want y'all to hear this real quick or whatever. And I hit them with one of them little Bone verses or whatever, and I floored them. They was like, man, we need to put this little nigga right here in the group. They used to call me Shady Bone. Cause I can get with them niggas. I really could rap like them. Like I used to literally study their shit. So when I got to actually record songs with them and shit, man, I was living it up, man. I was rolling with Thug Line for a minute. I was rolling with little Crazy Bone shit, and I was in all his little videos and shit. And back in '99, and it was on, man. It's been a good trip for me. I'm still here, still, you know what I'm saying, making dope music. Definitely the activity rate has dropped from back then because it was way more shit to do and way more people, way more legendary people to get with back then. But like you can't take the memories. I'll never forget all of the people, the great people that I got to deal with, Mariah, Murder Inc. and them, like everybody. It's not literally anybody that I haven't worked with that I wanted to, at least.
You mentioned
if I didn't work with them, then if I didn't work with you, it's because I ain't want to work with you, truth be told, because it's not hard to link up with people, especially not me. I ain't hard to find at all. I'm one of the easiest cats from all over the place.